Rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated. Hey, welcome to Big Lou Barbecue. That things I want to do. I'm Big Lou, and this is what I've got going on for you. We're going to talk about my old Smokey electric smoker. Yeah, I got this about a year ago. Hey, it's echoing in there. That's pretty cool. So I'll talk over here. I got this about a year ago, well, actually 14 months ago. It's mid-September, and I got this in mid-July of 2023 when I went to the old Smokey Throwdown. I was about to say showdown. Old Smokey Throwdown in Galveston, Texas. They didn't have one of those this year because of Hurricane Beryl. Anyway, that's beside the point, right? I've had this about 14 months. Should have done a one-year review in July. I thought about getting one of these for many, many years. In fact, I'll tell you right now, I think they sell around $180 to $200. Or still, maybe you can find one for about $150. They used to sell between $199 and $125 at local hardware stores here in the Gulf South. As you know, Old Smokey products are made in Houston, Texas, and they're kind of ubiquitous here in the central Gulf South. But you get outside of Eastern Texas, Louisiana, Southern Mississippi, they might be a little harder to find in stores, but you can find them online anywhere. I love this. I did a really detailed review when I first got it in 2023. I did a 45-minute review of it. I put it through its paces, cooked all kind of things, did a little short 10-minute, 8-minute review of it as well. And I've cooked a lot of things in it since then that I've showed you on camera. But I want to give you a one-year review because there's not a lot of one-year reviews about this old Smokey electric smoker, or people that have had them a long time on YouTube. They get them, they do a little video with them, and then that's all you hear about it. Look, I should have got one a long time ago. When and if this one wears out, I'll get another one. For the rest of my life, I will not be without an old Smokey electric smoker. When I first started my channel, over 8 years ago, almost eight years ago now, I had a family of 4, and I was very much a charcoal snob. Since then, my family has, my wife has passed away. My daughter is 21, going off to college. She's here tonight, so I'm gonna be cooking some ribs in this. Stay tuned, I got some ribs to cook at the end of this, okay? And my son, he's a senior in high school now. He hangs out with his friends. A lot of times, it's just me at the house. I don't feel like firing up even my old Smokey charcoal cooker, charcoal grill. I just put stuff in this. I absolutely love it. Look, here is a video of, I put together about 2 or 3 weeks ago of some corn, sausage, and cabbage. The sausage and cabbage is a weeknight meal that I'm making this thing quite often. Let me show you how that went. So look at down there in the bottom, you've got the electric heating element and the grease absorption stuff down at the bottom, all right? That's the wood chip tray that sits right on top of the heating element. Those are hickory wood chips on top of the wood chip tray. It doesn't take a lot. Porcelainized bowl, I've covered with aluminum foil for easy cleanup. Sits about halfway up the thing between the wood chips and the top rack. Cabbage quarters I'm gonna smoke in a cast iron pan on top of the rack, on top of the bowl. And this is the top rack. Now the cabbage quarters is gonna take about an hour. And so in about half an hour, I'm gonna add the sausage and the corn because it won't take as long as the cabbage. That's the lid. Put it on high. All right, just above 300 degrees is about where this thing cooks. And so we're doing great. The cabbages have been in there for about an hour. You can see that smoke and steam coming out. I'm gonna put in some corn. I haven't done anything to this corn, but shuck it. It's gonna be in there about 30 minutes and it's gonna be delicious. Well, it was steaming up the lens pretty good. Look, I'm gonna put the sausage in here. This is a local brand of sausage called Foreman's. And I'll show you what the label looks like. It's made in the same parish I live in here in Louisiana, so we really like it around here. It's not a bad sausage, and if you can get it, try it. It's good. Lots of different flavors. I really like their cane syrup sausage, but this is just their regular smoked sausage, and just load it up in here any way I can. Cover it back up, and let that go for about 30 minutes. We're gonna have corn, sausage, and cabbage. All right, well, it has been a good bit longer than a half hour for that corn and stuff and sausage in there. It's been maybe 45, maybe even 50 minutes. Had some things come up and I didn't get back to this thing, but this is a forgiving smoker. But I'll tell you what, you can't see it because it's steamy. We'll let the steam clear and I'll show it to you. There you go. It looks so good, so good, so good. Time to pull it out of here with some tongs. And you worried about the cabbage? There you go. It's out. About to bring it inside. That cabbage is down there, and I've done a video on the smoked cabbage before. I get that pan out with these Lodge handles, that Lodge cast iron pan out with these Lodge handles. Anyway, love this little electric smoker for a weeknight meal like this. Absolutely delicious. And that's my wonderful smoked cabbage. Yeah, it went in there a little long, but it's going to be delicious. And I do have a video on the cabbage, exactly how I do it and all. All right, you know what I did about a week or so later? I made some more. That one I used some hot links and some Savoy's green onion sausage in, but the cabbage is down at the bottom. It also came out good. No corn on that one. And here's a picture of a chicken I made a week or so ago. My daughter wanted, or she asked me to do a rotisserie chicken on my gas grill or one in the smoker. She says, you know what, they come out juicier in the smoker, and they come out juicy on the gas grill on the rotisserie, but it's easy in the smoker. Put it down there. She wanted this smoked chicken for a chicken chowder thing she was making, and that chicken chowder was delicious with that smoked chicken meat from here. I cook chickens in here a lot. They always come out tender and juicy. The bad thing is, the skin isn't always crispy. This is a very moist environment. This smoker works different than other smokers, all right? Let me show you something. This smoker ain't big. It ain't big, okay? Right down in there, can you see? There's an electrical element. On top of that electrical element sits this little wood tray. You put chips right there and it sits right on top of the electrical element. The chips start smoking. Now, as you see, it's controlled by one of these little things like they used to do those old pancake griddles, electric pancake griddles. You just turn it on. I usually run everything on high. High gets up about 300 degrees, but it gets a smoky flavor and it doesn't dry out because there's no exhaust on this thing. The lid looks like that. Yeah, I probably need to clean it a little bit. Put the thermometer right here. I hang the lid like this because of the hook. Thermometer is extra, by the way. That way the lid is offset and stuff doesn't drip down the thing too much. All right, but there's no exhaust, so it just steams and cooks the food real well, you know? Now, above the chip tray, about right here where these screws are, there is a porcelainized bowl that sits there. This is the porcelainized bowl. You don't have to put water in it because the moisture from whatever you're cooking is going to drip down in there. That's going to be your moisture. All right, on top of the porcelainized bowl is this little small grill grate that sits on top of it. And then right about here where the handles are, these screws hold in the upper grate. And it's small, it's lightweight, it's electric, and it's quiet. There's no fan like on a pellet smoker. You know what? In fact, the company recently offered to give me a pellet smoker to show off on my show, and I said, nah. I turned them down. I said, I got enough grills and cookers. I've got enough things that I review on my show. And as far as electric simplicity, this is all I need. It really is, y'all. Okay, I want to talk to you a little bit about the wear and tear after a year. I've got some spots on the top where I've dripped some things. I don't know about that. And plus, I need to clean it a little bit. When you store it, especially here in the Gulf South, where we've got a lot of moisture build up because of the humidity, store it with a lid off of it. You know, like I said, I'll store it with a lid like this, you know, hanging like that. And that way mold doesn't build up in there. But that means you got to clean it after you use it every time because if you don't, you're leaving it open, it's going to attract flies. So you got to get that bowl out of there, all right? After a year of use, I have some rust right here. I don't know if you can see it, but rust right there on that thing, okay? There's some little bit of rust forming on the bottom here, all right? A little bit of rust falling around the edges. But let's see, I've used it for 14 months. I'm calling it a year. That's it's over a year. But I've used it at least weekly, so at least 52 times. Rarely a week's gone by that I haven't used it. I've used it more than a weekly, more than many times. I know I've used it over 50-something times. I don't even know how many times I've used it. Like I said, that cabbage, and I've done the cabbage video and sausage. That's something I do on a weeknight. But you know what I'm gonna do tonight? Baby back ribs. I might throw some spare ribs in there too. Anyway, I just got it cleaned out. You saw the sausage video earlier. That was from a few weeks ago. That, what do you call it? Clay, grease absorbent clay. It's the stuff they use in the car garages that don't soak up oil, stuff they use for unscented cat litter. That stuff, I'm about to put some more in there, put this chip tray in, and I'm gonna do some baby back ribs. Stick around. All right, as you can see, I have changed out the grease absorbent, the kitty litter, and from when you saw it with the chicken thing I did a few weeks ago, because I just cleaned it. Put the wood chip tray down, and I've got some mesquite wood chips on it. I'm using mesquite because that's what I have. Normally with baby back ribs, I'd use hickory or pecan, but mesquite's what I got. Mesquite's what I'm using. All right, on that small diameter rack right above the aluminum foil covered porcelainized bowl, I'm gonna put down some country style ribs. Those country style ribs, same way I did these baby backs, except I didn't cut them in half and take a membrane off. But what's on them is just yellow mustard and Heath Ryle's apple rub. I like the Heath Ryle's apple rub quite a bit. Don't care too much for the peach rub, but the apple rub, that's some good stuff. All right, did some rearranging. I couldn't fit all 4 halves of these baby back ribs on the top rack. I've done that before, but they must have been smaller racks of baby backs. Anyway, so the smallest half I got, I put there on the bottom center small diameter rack and move the country style ribs to the outside. So though 2 racks of baby backs will actually fit on the top rack, what I actually had was a rack of baby backs, a small rack of St. Louis spares, and then those country style ribs. That's why I couldn't fit all 4 halves on the top. So 3 styles of ribs. And there's the other 3 halves. And like I said, that one's really wide. That's why I couldn't quite fit it on there. So anyway, I put it down at the bottom. And you can also roll the ribs. I've done rib rolls before, and that works pretty well in here. All I gotta do now is just shut it up and turn her on. She's plugged in, just reach down here, turn it on high, and in about 2 hours, possibly 2.5, I'm gonna check them at 2 hours, but it's probably gonna be 2.5. I'm gonna have barbecue ribs on a Tuesday night. While those ribs cook, I do wanna talk about the maintenance. I did talk about you need to clean it every time. Keep the, store it with the lid off, store it, clean. It's still gonna have a smoky flavor, but you don't wanna keep, nasty stuff in this bowl or anything down there. That'll attract flies. If the grease absorbent gets dirty, you spill any grease down there when you get the bowl out or anything like that, change that immediately. You can be at a big bag for maybe 15 bucks or something, and it lasts a long, long time. This thing will get cruddy, and so it'll get kind of cruddy in there. I'll get a pipe cleaner and go in there and clean out the crud around it, because if you lose the connection with this, you can lose a little bit of the temperature. I've showed that before in a video. And basically, if you do get mold in it, like I mentioned, that white mold, I get it out with cleaning vinegar. Just wipe it up with cleaning vinegar. Boom, done. All right. And yeah, because I try to take care of it, but I haven't babied it, haven't neglected it. One other thing I want to mention is I noticed a few months ago, I was having a drip right here at this screw, and the oil's burned on, the grease is burned on there now. After the cook, I just reached in there and tightened up the bolt, and it quit dripping. I left that on there just to show you, all right? Anyway, let's check on these ribs. All right now, evening has set in, and I got the lights on under the patio here. But it's not quite dark yet, it's just dusk outside, and it's about 7:30 in the evening, mid-September, and on a Tuesday, and we're about ready to eat. It may have to go another half hour to 8. I'm used to eating late. There they are, it's steamy. Well, there they are. The steam has cleared a little bit, and then it just came right back on. Well, boy, I tell you what, you see how moist the environment is? We're at 197, 198. These are just like butter. And you're not gonna have a smoke ring on these. The bark is not gonna be real crispy either. It gets a little dark and can get a little dark. I can put them in the oven on the gas grill to tighten it up. Poultry is not going to have a real crispy skin either, but the meat is always so juicy, you know, so juicy. And you can get oven ribs maybe to be real tender, but you're not going to have smoke flavor on them. These are going to have smoke flavor. Not going to have a smoke ring, but they'll have smoke flavor. And I really like doing this, all right? I don't know if you can see those down there, those country style ribs and that other half rack of baby backs. But I'm gonna take these off of here. Trust me, these are good. Thanks for watching this 1-year review of the old Smokey electric smoker. If you want to see what ribs look like, I've got videos where I do that. Anyway, I love this thing. Nobody's taking it away from me. If it ever does get stolen, it's getting replaced. If it ever does break, it's getting replaced. I am never, the rest of my life, I'm 53 years old, and the rest of my life, I will not be without one of these. And I used to be a charcoal snob. I absolutely love this smoke. One more thing, to get stuff a little crispier toward the end, I just kind of take the thing and crack it back to the thermometer like that and let the steam out. But, you know, it doesn't make it like if they've been in a charcoal smoker the whole time. But anyway, as I go in and get a platter to get the stuff out, I'm gonna leave them like that and tighten up just a little bit. Here they are in the kitchen light. Look, these are hot, but the country style ribs basically turned into pulled pork. This is the rack that was on the bottom. It's the rack that was on the top. And I tell you what, just look at that meat right there. It's gonna be so good. Get these cut up and eat.